Terima kasih Mbak Rizky.
Hello, Feren.
Hello?
Can
Miss, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can you turn the video? Okay, it's very good. I'm going to give you the, sorry, can you please unmute? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the topic from the chat box, and you have 5 minutes to arrange the idea, to prepare it. And after that, after 5 minutes, I will bring you back to the main room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are not allowed to use online dictionary or application dictionary. Also, you are not allowed to use internet browsing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here is the topics. You can choose one.
I want to choose the second one.
Yeah.
E-learning, a substitute for classroom learning.
Okay, you can make the outline or anything. Just prepare for it. Okay, you have to present that topics to in front of the judges for 7 minutes. Okay, I give you 5 minutes to generate your idea. 40 seconds more, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Okay, time's up. Are you ready to bring back to the main room?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, hi, Farhan.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, okay, are you ready for the presentation?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, whenever you're ready, you may start.
A very good morning to the honorable judges, loyal timekeeper, and committee. First of all, let me thank the God. Because of His blessing upon me, I can sit here to deliver my oral presentation. My name is Farhan Andrea, and I am from Catholic Senior High School W.R. Supratman, Samarinda. And in this special occasion, I would like to talk about the positive and negative sides of e-learning as a substitute of online learning in this pandemic situation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, education, as we understand it here, is a process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. Educational methods include teaching, training, discussion, and directed research, while online learning is education that takes place over the internet. We all know online learning has a lot of benefits, such as flexibility and accessibility. As we all know, online learning enables the teacher and the student to set their own learning pace and added flexibility of setting a schedule that fits everyone's agenda. And then, as a result, using an online learning platform allows us to a better balance of studies. In addition, online learning or e-learning enables us to study or teach from anywhere in this world. It means there's no need to commute from one place to another or follow a rigid schedule. And on the other hand, not only we save time, but we also save money, which can be spent on other priorities. Because the virtual classroom is always available anywhere as long as there is an internet connection. But on the other hand, since COVID-19 has revealed there are some extreme levels of inequality in our society. We all know that students who came from families with abundant resources could easily navigate the shift to online learning rather than students who are facing multiple economic, family, and social challenges due to lack of access to reliable internet and a relatively quiet place to study or learn. In addition, online learning may become very challenging to students who are used to the physical classroom because we all know traditional classroom has the kind of physical presence of a teacher and classmate, because the aim of education is not only to build an intelligent student, but also to be a responsible citizen in the future. The traditional classroom gives room for proper monitoring of behavior, improves social interaction, and increases exposure. And then again, from my point of view, online learning has some mixed benefits. It has a lack of social interaction between the instructor and the students. But on the other hand, online learning is both inexpensive and less time consuming. If only a platform could actually fulfill content and interaction around the individual user, such as their speed, their interest, and their location, then online learning could give us the ability to learn whatever we want from wherever we are. As we can understand here, online education may be flexible and interesting, but still, it couldn't meet the sensation of face-to-face social interaction.
2 minutes left.
However, every student must assess their unique situation and decide according to their needs and goals. Even the alternative to traditional education is not for everyone in this world. It's still a convenient option with virtually endless options for every student in facing this pandemic situation. Well, before closing this presentation, I would like to quote one of my favorite quotes from Malcolm. That is, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all for my oral presentation today. I really hope that we can learn something new from it and enjoy it. Thank you very much for your very kind attention and good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much, Farhan. Farhan spent 6 minutes and 16 seconds. Okay, now it's the time for Q&A session. So, Miss Lola, Miss Nita, or Pak Andri, if you have any questions, you please ask, kindly ask to Farhan.
Okay. Hi, Farhan.
Hello, sir.
You have done a very good presentation, but there is something that actually is very interesting to me. It's very interesting, and I'd like to ask you about this question. You stated in your presentation that e-learning is flexible and less time consuming, and most of all, it is inexpensive. Is that right?
Yes.
And as far as the inexpensive goes or is concerned, as we know that not every family in Indonesia are actually of the same equality as far as economy is concerned, right? Then for these kind of people, they need to buy new cell phones or new smartphones that will enable the students to cope with the challenges or with the requirements of e-learning. For example, some teachers at school would ask you to make presentation from home. Some require you to make a video and upload it on social media, right? And not
Yes.
to mention that you also have to buy internet quota, right?
Yes.
And do you think it is contradictory to what you stated earlier, which is going to be expensive at the end of the day?
Yes.
What do you
Well,
think?
before that, I would like to say thank you for the question. And in my point of view, at my school specifically, there are there are school committee that give us the internet quota to the students every month. Well, from this kind of solution that our school has given to us, so it will help mostly students who haven't come from to the families with abundant resources. And from my point of view is that students can do a kind of study together, and the only way to study is not only from smartphone or expensive gadgets or another technologies, but it could be started just by watching television, because as I knew before, I have watched kind of teacher sharing programs in televisions and online learning program from TVRI. So if the students have this kind of the truly needs and they really want to study, then I think this solution is the best solution for them. So it could be inexpensive, but we all know, maybe for some people or some students, e-learning is really expensive. But if we can use the gadgets that we already have, we don't need to buy it more or buy them so expensive. We can still study in good quality.
Okay, thank you very much, Farhan. Maybe the other judges are going to ask you questions as well. Please, Miss Lola or Miss Nita.
Okay. Nita, do you want to ask questions, or can I ask one question?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Farhan. So thank you for the presentation. And then my question is actually related to Mr. Andri's question before. Yeah, still about your statement, which mentions that this online learning or e-learning is perhaps the best solutions, in your opinion, for the pandemic situation. Okay, you mentioned about alternative learning programs such as watching TV and so on. Yeah, but what about those who really live in a remote area? So those who do not even have the access to TV channels, they don't even have TVs. Those who live in the mountains, or you know, the ones near the borders or things like that. What do you think about the most realistic solution if they do not have any resources at all for e-learning? Okay, that would be my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Miss. I personally believe that maybe we can, or the teachers can send them some books, or as we all know, textbooks, to their house in, for example, like mountains or in a very remote area. from the books, they can actually study it for some times or maybe some days. And after maybe a week or a month, the teachers could come there again and make kind of this group. And after that, after a month of reading that book or another textbooks, they can ask the teacher which lesson or material that they don't know or not sure about. So I think the teachers or government or maybe donator can do something like that to help the students who are in remote area and there's really no connection. Or maybe another solution is the government in every cities or province make this kind of special area around their city or maybe house. So when at the morning when they want to study, they can come to that place and discussing with the teachers about the material. I think that's the solutions about the question.
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Feren and the judges, Pak Andri and Miss Lola. That marks the end of Feren's presentation. Now, Feren, please kindly leave the room. Oh, she already left. Okay, so thank you so much. Now we're going to wait for the next participant.
Thank you, Miss and Mr.
Good morning.
Can you turn your video?
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. I'm about to give you the topics and
Yes.
you have 5 minutes to generate the idea. As we said before on the group that you are not allowed using online dictionary, you are not allowed to browse the article or to read the article online, and also application dictionary. Only printed dictionary that is allowed, okay?
Yes.
Okay, can you please check the chat box? I write the topics there. You can choose. Bindang?
Yes.
Yeah. You are frozen. Freeze. Have you chosen?
Yeah. I'm opening the tab. Hold on.
Okay. You can start now to generate the idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which topic do you take? Do you choose?
The second one.
Second. Okay. 1 more minute. Okay, are you ready? Okay, we are about to go back to the main room, okay?
Yes.
Kayak kita model belajar itu kan kayak platformnya beda-beda. Jadi akhirnya
mohon maaf,
kemarin, ya.
Peserta sudah masuk.
Oke.
Oke,
Ya, siapa ini yang masuk? Belum tahu.
Bintang.
Bintang Arjuna Putra.
Oke.
Okay, so Bintang, are you ready to start the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. The judges, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So Bintang, whenever you're ready, you may start your presentation.
Yes. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to the honorable judges. My name is Bintang Arjuna Putra from SMA Negeri 2 Unggulan Pasir. I am going to present you about a presentation about is e-learning the future to education? The topic of my presentation is obviously e-learning. Purpose or objective. The purpose of this presentation is to spread information between teachers and students on the good and the bad of e-learning. Well, my main idea to this point is e-learning is a good temporary solution for now. It's not like it will change the future if everybody just do e-learning all of a sudden. So let's go to the background information first. Why are we using e-learning now? That is only because there's this recent coronavirus outbreak that's happening all around the world. So yeah, we can't really risk getting students coronavirus just because they have to go to school. So yeah, it is more safer to the student if we just use e-learning, and it is more convenient if we just use Zoom and other application, I guess, that it allows the teacher to communicate and give assignment to the student. Because if we don't have any of this e-learning stuff, then yeah, it will be harder to study in this situation. And while e-learning is a good thing for now because of the coronavirus outbreak that's just suddenly happening, it also have some bad to it. Like, for example, from my personal reason, the teacher are giving me assignment that is basically 1 month of work in a span of 3 days. That is giving the students a heavy burden. So teachers think that they just can't. They just think that they can just give the students this assignment and call it a day. Well, that's not what learning is. I guess it is, but still, sometimes they don't just give a ton of assignment to the students, but also very little short time to do it too. For example, I've got a lot of assignment from one particular teacher that always gives assignment at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. for some reason, and she only gave us about 3 hours to do it. And whenever we didn't do the assignment on time, like they like at midnight or something, she just get angry at us. She just get mad at us. So that's just bad teaching on its own part, but still. Another negative one is that the students are getting more and more lazier than they are before. Like, speaking from my own personal experience again, I usually just would skip a lot of this Zoom meeting on classes, but because it is more easier for me to do it than before, like, unlike in regular school where you have to go to the school and it's more harder to skip class, I guess, to skip class because the teacher will actively looking for you if you're not at the class. But in this online situation, they just kind of close their eyes on these students that doesn't come into their class. Like,
2 minutes left.
So closing, I guess closing. Can I close now? Yes. And my summary of this thing, of this whole e-learning thing is, it is good. Yeah, it is good on paper because it makes much more easier communication between students and teachers on great distance. But it's not like the future of everything. So we can still go back to normal, regular offline schools because this online school is this e-learning online school is not a very good thing. So yeah, thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Bintang, for your presentation. Bintang spent 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Okay, now is the time for the question and answer session. So from the judges, if you want to ask questions to Bintang, please. Who wants to ask?
Can I?
Okay, Miss Nita, please.
Okay. Hi, Bintang. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Okay, how are you? Good?
Yes.
A little bit nervous? Maybe not.
Maybe.
I think because you have already experienced the online learning, I don't think you need to be nervous again to meet us in the online, even if it is in competition. But congratulations, Bintang, for that you can get into this part. Bintang, I would like to highlight a little bit about your statement. You say that because in this COVID-19 pandemic, online learning is a good thing for now. But later on your explanation, you just shared the negative sides of online learning. You say that it is too many burdens for the students, and then the students are getting lazier. Can you give us one positive side of having online learning? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Well, the positive side of this e-learning, there's actually so much that Well, one of them is the 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 students doesn't have to actually meet the teacher for learning stuff because it reduces the chances of these students getting COVID. So it's better for them to stay at home and learn. And also it's way more convenient than having to go to school for like 30 minutes on the road. So yeah, I guess that's two of the positive outcome from this e-learning. Thank you very much.
So you think that by having you don't have to take times to go to school, 30 minutes on the road. You think that that 30 minutes on the road is but can be changeable into your teaching learning in the classroom?
Well, not really, because it's just one of my exaggerations. Well, mostly it's just because that I'm a lazy student. So yeah, it's better for me to stay at home than going to school. Honestly speaking, though.
Okay, thank you, Bintang. Other judges, maybe?
Hi, Bintang.
All right.
Right. First of all, let me express my pride, which, I'm seriously proud to meet you as the only representative from outside of Samarinda who has made it this far in this competition. However, I have something in my mind which I like to ask you. Um, from the negative sides of the e-learning that you have already mentioned earlier, my question is, what do you think the teachers and the students can do to raise the awareness of the importance of learning for their future, right? To prevent, just students like those who like to skip classes. What do you think that the teachers and students can do, Bintang, to raise the awareness? Because learning either online or offline, both of them are important, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for the question, Mr. Andri. Um, how to raise awareness for both of student and teacher for preventing students from getting more lazier and irresponsible teacher? Is that the question?
Yeah, something like that. The
Yeah.
student and the teacher can work together, can cooperate to raise that awareness in the students
Oh,
that, hey, learning is important for me. So even if the teacher is not monitoring me, I still need to attend the classes, right?
so that goes back to their parents because but education starts from their parents first. So teachers should talk to their parents about this importance of learning and and of course children will listen to their parents. So it's better if the teacher just goes and tell the parents that hey, learning is important, and then the parents will have the children that their children or the students study more. And for the teacher side, I guess, well, there's nothing really can be done about it, I guess, because it's from the teacher itself. It's not from the system that is bad. So I guess we just have to talk to the teacher about how many, about how, I don't want to say it's bad he or she does at teaching us stuff just because he or she gave us a lot of assignments. So yeah, I guess the best way of to raise this awareness is just communicating each other.
All right. I can understand that what you mean is for the teachers to improve their teaching and learning method. So it will make it more interesting and the student will be interested in learning. Is that what you're saying?
Sort of in a way.
All right. And the first place, you also blame the parents for not being able to educate their children?
Well, kind of, because yeah, that's what parents supposed to do. They're supposed to tend to their children and teach them about yeah about life. I guess I don't know. Yeah, but that is like the purpose of parents, like right, to guide their children to something, to become something better.
All right. Thank you very much, Bintang. Miss Lola, maybe you would like to add?
Ajeng, do we have time? So how much
Oh,
time
okay.
do we have left?
Yes, it's 1 minute left.
1 minute. Okay,
Okay.
just one very quick question, Bintang. What do you think will be the best form of e-learning in your opinion? Yeah, so this is free, just based on your opinion. Because you said that giving assignments is not it. Yeah, so what would be it? Thank you.
The perfect it that we are talking about is just basically offline school with camera, like actually teaching us stuff instead of showing things to our face.
Okay, so you mean a video lesson?
Maybe, yes.
Some sort of video lesson.
Yes.
All right.
If the teacher can't do video lessons, then voice maybe, or even written text is aiming at educating us instead of giving us more assignments.
Okay, I got your point. Thank you. That would be it, Ajeng. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, the judges, for the questions, and thank you, Bintang, for the presentation. That marks the end of your presentation. Now you may leave the room, and we're going to admit the next participant.
Thank you.
Oke, Rizky, kita dipindahkan ke breakout room dulu ya. Mana Rizky?
Wait a second. Saya bikin breakout room dulu.
Ya.
Okay, next participant, Wayan. Hello, Wayan.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Miss. How about you?
We are good. Very good. Okay, I'm about to give you the topics. You may check the chat box, and you have 5 minutes to generate your idea. Then you are not allowed to use online dictionary or online articles. Only printed dictionary that is allowed. Okay?
Understood, Miss.
Yes. These are the topic. So which topic do you choose?
I will choose the first topic.
Okay. You can generate your idea now.
Okay, 1 minute left. Okay, your time of preparation is up. Now we're going to invite the judges back to the main room. Okay, are the judges ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Wayan, whenever you're ready, you may start the presentation.
Thank you, Miss. Alright. Good morning
Morning.
for the respective judges and every audience. Before I begin the presentation, let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Iwayan Satya-Dharma Yudhistira from SMA Negeri 10 Samarinda. I'm currently now in 11th grade. I'm here to bring a presentation about how AI can change the future of workspace. In this presentation, firstly, I'll explain about the technology development to the AI. Then I'll explain about AI efficiency on the surface. And then explanation about the change of unemployment because of the AI and the solution for the unemployment. So AI is one of the technology miracle in 21st. Before there was AI, computer was so complex so that everyone rarely really understand about computer itself. But with the time passing, the technology itself become a common sense to everyone on Earth. So how can AI change the future of workspace? Firstly, because AI efficiency itself. AI has a specific benefit from its program. It has limitless capability of working on something and can surpass human in some aspects. Because of this efficiency, there is a chance in the future that unemployment may be rising because of AI replacing of their job. Then there will be a lot of human that has no funding. So the solution of this unemployment is maybe human can take the job that AI cannot do. It's like a politician or artist maybe, or even the programmer itself, because AI still needs to program itself, even though AI can produce itself and multiply itself, but it has a hard time to copy his code automatically. So there's a chance that bug may be bug and glitches may be rise from the code because of the error copying, like cancer cells in human cells. So the programmer is beneficial itself for AI. So the summary of my presentation is AI can change the future of workspace entirely because of the AI efficiency and its limitless capability. The chance of unemployment because of AI is about high because of that benefit of AI itself. But some workspace that AI cannot do. It's like politics and more. But AI can still occupy many workspace like teachers and farmers, and so on. Thank you for attending my presentation. I'm sorry if there's any lack of my presentation. Thank you and good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Wayan, for your presentation. Wayan spent 5 minutes and 1 second. Okay, now is the time for the question and answer session. Miss Lola, Pak Andri, or Miss Nita, whoever wants to ask the question, please.
May I?
Okay, Miss Nita first, then, please.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ajeng. Hi, Wayan. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Miss.
Okay, congratulations.
How about Miss?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Wayan, congratulations for having this until this stage. Really happy to see your presentation. But I have one question regarding to your statement about the unemployment. You stated first that the number of unemployment is increasing when the AI is also moving. And you also stated several jobs or several professions that cannot be replaced by AI. And one of them is they are artist, politician, and programmer. Why do you think politician cannot be replaced by AI? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Miss. So the question is why the politician cannot be replaced with AI, right, Miss? In my opinion, human can only believe in one of its kind. It's like in this present time, many people select a politician representative by their majority vote because AI. There's so many people that still cannot believe in AI and believe that AI can just enslave humans because of their limitless capabilities. And also AI produce currently cannot produce arguments like politicians do. And yeah, that maybe become the factor of the politician is irreplaceable for AI.
Okay, good. Good, thank you, Wayan. But then, seeing the current condition of our country, for example, related to the demonstrations and protests everywhere, do you do you hope later on the politicians will be replaced by AI when you see this kind of phenomena in our country?
Regarding to myself, I prefer the politicians to be human because AI error can be fatal sometimes. When that error is about managing a whole country, it can be lethal.
So you are still believe or still give your trust to the politicians, even though
Yes.
there are still
Even
many
though
demonstrations.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Wayan. Other judges, please.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you,
Maybe
Miss
do you
Nita.
want to ask question?
Oke, Bisola, silakan.
Or Kak Andri or me?
Please, Miss.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for the time. Wayan, interesting presentation and interesting choice of topic. So I would like to ask, why did you choose this topic instead of the other topics available?
Because I think that this AI topic is the critical topic of this kind of era, because in 21st century, technology is rapidly developing, and there I saw a chance that AI may be taking over humans' occupation in around 10 years or so.
Okay, so you think that because this topic is very much relevant to our current situation or concern.
Yes.
Okay, so one more question from me then. What do you think will be the best preparation for this to come for your generation, the ones who are going to look for jobs later?
So if it's about my generation has to understand technology at minimum level, so they can join the technology era so that they still can stand even though AI will take the occupation, their favorite occupation.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer.
You're welcome, Miss.
Okay.
Wayan?
Yes, Mr.
Hi. I'm really interested in the topic that you choose. First of all, you also mentioned in the question and answer session that this might take place in 10 years or so, right?
Yes.
Does this apply to all countries or only to developed countries such as America or, Japan or some other country? Also, it applies to third world countries.
If in at developed countries like Europe, Western Europe countries, and United States of America, the AI is already beginning to take the workspace. So this 10 years or so is I'm talking about the whole world, the whole country.
So Indonesia will be experiencing that this
Yes.
AI invasion as well.
Yes, because in this present time, around 80% or 80% Indonesian has access to internet. So we are experiencing AI in the application of our smartphone. It's like Google Assistant and Siri. That kind of software is AI.
All right, but it doesn't necessarily take some jobs from the human, right? As you mentioned that in America, in which AI has already been invaded most of their lives, but you can still see so many jobs, probably the same jobs that have been around for many years. So I'm afraid your prediction is not spot on as far as the job loss, which is going to be replaced by the AI. And
Yeah.
Please.
Let Mr. have to finish his question first. Finish the question first, Mr.
Oh, okay, I'm finished. So I mean, like, there are some jobs in the States, for example, that have been around for so many years. Not only those three that you mentioned, like politician, what else? Demonstrators. Demonstrators should be AI too, right? In the future, if the politician are AI. Right. Okay. So there are some, for example, like farmers, right? Probably AI is there to only help the human do their job easily, not taking over their job itself. Farmers are still around in the States until today. What do you think about that? And, like comparing with your answer before.
In this current state, AI maybe only
I can't hear you, Wayan.
In this current state, AI, I'm sorry, my internet connection is unstable. So in this current state of AI can only help human to do their job, but according to my observation to the technology development in this present time, maybe AI will have its mind itself. So maybe the self-awareness of AI will rise itself, so they will be close to human. So in this current state, yes, humans still have its job and AI just become a helper for their job. But we can't be sure in the future. It may be the flip side, like humans are helping the AI, or maybe like this current state, like AI is helping the human. Everything can happen in the future.
In your personal opinion, which one is better, AI or a human, to do some jobs? For example, like politician. Your personal opinion, you still prefer human to be politician, right?
Yes.
And as you know that politicians also have bugs and glitches.
Yes.
Which call characters or personalities or some others. So both of them have their own downside and like advantages as well.
Yeah, so humans and AI has advantage, has its own benefits and has its downside, because none of us are perfect, even though AI itself cannot be perfect without human. But I prefer the politician is human, because what is that? AI can only do what it's programmed to do. Because the self-awareness of AI can be suppressed by the programmer itself. So the one that has limitless thinking is human itself.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm
finish?
sorry.
Alright.
Yes, I'm sorry. The
Thank you
time
very
is
much.
up. Thank you so much, Wayan and the judges. Now, Wayan, you may please leave the room, and we're going to invite the next participant. Thank you so much for your presentation and the judges for the questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to admit the fourth participant.
Miss Aninya tertinggal.
It's okay. Hello, Marceline.
Fine. I just finished my first round of debate competition, so I basically in the two competition right now. I hope I can handle it.
Okay then. I'm about to give the topics, and you have for about 5 minutes or whatever you tell us to generate, and please check your chat box. So, which topic do you choose?
I'll choose the second one.
Second one. All right. You have 5 minutes or whenever you're ready.
1 minute left.
I'm done. We can start.
Okay then.
Okay.
So we're going to take the judges back first.
Apa? Oh enggak. Aku nggak minum kopi nih. Kak Pisah. Kemarin janji jiwa.
Okay. So are the judges ready?
Yes.
Okay. Marceline, whenever you're ready, you may start the presentation.
Okay. Oh wait. I'll set my timer.
Okay.
Please do.
7 minutes, right?
Yeah, 7 minutes.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Judges, what do we know about e-learning in the current situation? What comes in our mind is about how the technology like internet, Wikipedia, Brainly come to your mind, right? When you think about e-learning, because e-learning is basically the technology helping students to learn, or maybe the technology helping the teachers to find the material of what teaching or the subject they are going to teach tomorrow. So in this case, for substituting, the classroom learning is basically about how the robot or the computer or the internet will be the priority to conduct the teaching. Basically, the human teacher will only be assisting the classroom itself. So the robot or the computer will be the main actor who will teach students in class. So this is already implemented in some schools. For example, in our schools, there are already like computer lab, which the students can find information using the technology. But it's not the whole school will be implemented in by technology. This is the current situation. So even if the developed country already like substituting some teachers, like in Japan, they already substituting the teachers with robots, or maybe like the actors who gives the homework or the project will be the technology or through the internet itself. Especially in this current situation, the pandemic, the classroom learnings are almost like different from what we are seeing in the before the pandemic, because before the pandemic we usually go to the classroom and then we meet the teacher, but now we meet the teacher through the with the the middle actor, which is the internet itself. So basically the e-learning is part of this. So I'm going to talk what is the pros and the cons of implementing this e-learning as the substituting the classroom learning. So the pros, the profit or the what the benefit we're getting is obviously more efficient, right? Because it doesn't drain the energy of the teacher. The teacher doesn't have to walk from far away to the class, and the teacher doesn't have to speak all the time, which is by technology like the AI or the computer, they are not human, right? So basically it doesn't drain their energy, or they're doesn't make their tired or something like that. So it will create a perfect idea for the what's happening if the classroom is conducted by this internet or robot or AI itself. I see that as a perfect idea or perfect decision itself. So basically, after the developed technology environment, there will be also the cons or contra benefits, which is the first, what is the value of teaching? Is basically, as the teacher, as a professional, you do your profession. It's about how you sacrifice your time to find the subject for what you're going to teach in class. And the second is about the incentive. As an AI or a robot or a computer, you don't have heart, you don't have feeling, you don't have mind for what type of subject or what type of homework I'm going to give in class today. So, and the AI doesn't have like the feeling about, oh, I should tell my children to finish their homework because the deadline is tomorrow. There is no such thing as that in the technology. So especially, for example, the students want to negotiate with the teacher because the student probably is busy and cannot do their homework at the time of deadline. So the human teacher probably can like consider that idea, but the technology teacher or the e-learning would not negotiate with that idea, right? So basically, the egoistic of the or just no emotional of e-learning is there, and also there is no care for students. For example, the value of teaching is not all about you transfer your like your knowledge to students, but also you teach about discipline. You teach about how you should act, because in schools you meet another friends, how you should act to strangers. That is the value of like the teaching itself. So in the e-learning, there is no value of teaching because it will reform the education, all the classroom learning itself. So my conclusion is about how I think the current era is the best situation because human teachers are alongside with the existence of like internet. It is crucial because humans have like the limitability to how they conduct the classroom, how they conduct what the behavior of the students. So basically, internet is still crucial because the teachers can find information of what they don't know in a specific situational times. So
2 minutes left.
Okay, so my last suggestion is actually we need to actually improve the quality of teachers rather than we improve the quality of technology. I think that current technology is okay to conduct alongside with the teachers in classroom learning, but the quality of teachers in the current situation is lowering, is drastically dropping because they think, oh, the e-learning will solve all my problem. That will be the mindset of the teacher, I think. So because also that existence of e-learning, the students can be lazy. The students don't want to ask their teacher anymore because the students are depending to the internet, like Wikipedia, Brainly, or sites that they can find answers to. So there is no incentive anymore to try first, search later, and there is no before the e-learning happens, the teacher will scold you because you don't do your homework. Now the e-learning will not scold you, so you don't know what should I do best. So for all that, my reasoning to what happen if the substituting the classroom learning as being e-learning by the actors of robots or computer will be the main priority of conducting the teaching itself. My name is Marceline from SMA Kristen Senodia. I am very proud to tell you all my reasons. Thank you for your listening to my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Marceline. Marceline spent 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, now it's the time for the questions and answer session. So who wants to ask to Marceline?
May I?
Okay, so Miss Nita, please.
Okay. Hi, Marceline.
Hi.
Hi, good morning.
It's morning.
Congratulations for having taking until this part. Marceline, I'm very curious with one of your statement. I don't know whether it is because of you are a student. When you said that e-learning is more efficient because it is.
Don't forget to rename yourself. Sorry, it's from another. Sorry, it's from my debate. I listen to your what you're saying.
Okay, because one of your statement, it is more efficient. The online learning is more efficient because it doesn't drain the energy from the teacher. Why do you think it doesn't drain the energy of the teacher? Because one teacher told me that it is even the online is getting harder than the offline work. So why do you think, as a student, you think it doesn't drain the energy from the teacher?
All right. To clarify what I set the model for my presentation, I said the teachers will be, the substitute for the teacher will completely be the robot or computer, or maybe even the teachers will only be the assistant. So probably in this current situation, the teachers are still conducting the learning, right? Are still giving like homework. But if the teachers can like set, like for example, they set the timer using the technology, and then when will the time of the homework will be given to students, I see that it will not drain the effort of the teachers, right? Because the teachers probably now, usually the teachers like told me about how now you have internet, so you can search up, so you don't need to like drain your teacher's effort anymore. I think it's like that.
Oh, that's why. Okay, so because I think when the teacher prepared the teaching, the activity in online setting, they still need time. They still need to do a hard work when they, for example, recording their stuff in the video, for example, when they are explaining the teaching, the materials of the classroom. Well, thank you, Marceline.
Yes.
Other judges?
Okay, Pak Andri or Miss Lola, if you want to ask question to Marceline.
May I?
Okay, sure.
Marceline.
Hi.
Congratulations for having made it this way, this far in the competition. And
Sorry, is it just me? But Mr. Andri is it's freezing.
Pardon?
Sorry, I think it's either my internet or Mr. Andre's internet. But probably you asked questions, but I didn't hear it.
All right. I will repeat myself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Okay. So education is not only the transfer of knowledge, right? But also about the moral values.
Yes.
So it means the physical presence of the teacher still required in the students' learning and process, right? And do you think this e-learning will eventually substitute all the teaching and learning process, or probably there is a tendency that one day, even in the developed country, they will go back to the original state, which is traditional way, offline classes? Because we can probably, you might have also heard that in so many other countries, there are some complaints that students are missing their teachers, students missing their friends, they want to go back to the classroom and so on and so forth. What do you think about that?
Thank you for the questions. I think personally there will still debates about whether our classroom should be substituting fully by the e-learning actors. But I think even the robot or computer still need to be conducted by the human, rights, because robot and computer don't have brains, but they are only tools. So it's only like substituting the helping technology to transfer the knowledge. But obviously, the robot or the computers are not human. Students cannot relate to what robots and computers are saying, or probably even in your classroom, human teachers are not usually telling you what's the subject for today, but usually just telling you the stories when the teachers haven't teach in this school. So basically, if the students are only conceited to only transferring the knowledge without without a moral value transferring, I think this will be fully refused by nations.
Yeah, because the moral value is not transferable through the internet, right?
Sure.
All right. So one day you will think that the traditional way of learning will be back again in trend. Okay.
Yes.
What about your statement that says quality of the teachers drop? Do you have any evidence to support your opinion or claim about this?
Okay, thank you for the questions. I think the teacher's mindset, or maybe the fresh graduate, like the university or college student mindset, when they think they want to be teacher, is about now the like the school is already the computer is already implemented in school, so I don't need to like throw my effort to teach the students over and over again, because at home they can, even their homework are being solved by internet. So the fresh teacher or even the old teachers will eventually think, oh, this computer or this robot will eventually take my position. So they don't have like motivation anymore, I think.
That's from, your pessimist point of view, right? What about the optimist? For example, there are some other teachers too that think that in this situation in which the computer is helping the student learn a lot, so it means that the teachers need to be one step ahead of the students, right? So it means the teachers are going to work a lot more. The teachers are going to improve their quality even more than before.
Thank you for the questions. That is why my suggestion is like we should improve the quality of teachers, because the teachers need to like, for example, the simplest thing the teacher can give is to give questions that is not available in the internet. That's the one way the teachers can be one ahead in the internet, because the students don't have any clue for finding this answer. Or maybe the students have like another teachers outside the schools for extra lessons they can ask, but it's still human teacher. So I think it's okay they ask the extra teacher rather than asking the internet. I think also the positive impact for the teachers alongside with this e-learning is, like I said before, the teachers is human with limited ability, so they need someone or something to tell them, oh, this is wrong, which is in my context it's the internet, so they can search up what's my fallacy in this subject, so they can give a perfect material to the student. I think like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, the judges, for the questions. And Marcelin, thank you for the presentation. That marks the end of your session.
All right.
Now you may leave the room, and we're going to invite the fifth participant. Thank you so much, the judges and Marcelin.
Thank you, community. Thank you, judges, for letting me a chance to present. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm about to invite the last presenter.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning.
Can you turn your video on?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. How are you?
Nervous.
Oh, very fresh. I hope you are ready for now. I'm about to give you the topics on the chat box. You have 5 minutes to generate your idea. You're not allowed to use any online dictionaries, and also you're not allowed to read online articles, yeah?
Can I see the outline that UPT Bahasa gave to me?
Oh, the outline. It's on the
group. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, I meant can I see them now?
Wait. Okay. I'm opening it now. First, just wait a minute.
Oh no, I've already opened it in my computer.
Oh.
Do you mean?
Okay, so what do you the outline or?
Nggak, maksud saya boleh lihat outline kan pas saya brainstorm.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought you were asking about the outline.
Sorry.
Yeah. So here is the topics. Yep. So which topic?
For classroom learning.
which topic?
The second one.
Second one. All right. You have 5 minutes to generate the idea. You can start now.
Oh no, sorry. Can I use the first topic?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Can I change again?
Okay. To which topic?
To the second one. I'm sorry.
Okay, the original, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Okay. But your time is still...
Yeah, okay. Oh my God.
Okay, 1 minute left. Okay, the preparation time is up. Now we are inviting the judges back to the main room. Okay. Okay, are the judges ready?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. Okay, Kimberly, whenever you're ready, you may start the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Um, okay. Good morning, Assalamualaikum, Namo Buddhaya, Shalom, Om Swastiastu to all the honorable judges. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone that I've been given the opportunity to talk in this meeting as a Cepat finalist. And my name is Kimberly Manuela from SMA Budi Bakti, and today I will talk about if e-learning is a substitute of classroom learning. So, okay, for starters, let's imagine that we are in our second year of high school, and it's the morning after a particularly draining night after studying for the upcoming math test. And usually that day comes with one surprise, and that's one difficult math problem or two. And then you spend the rest of the day trying to solve it with your friends or your teachers, and that's that. But imagine my surprise when I came home in my first day of examination with one shocking fact that the exam week will proceed at home. And it was because the government has put out a policy into effect that states that we should work from home and stay home, and that means whether we like it or not, we have to learn at home. And at first, I adapted with online examination first, unlike my friends out there who adapted first to the on the teaching and learning process online. And so my objective today is that e-learning is a good substitute for classroom learning, especially now that we are in the middle of a pandemic that is unavoidable. And in order for us to not contract the virus and secure the safety of not only ourselves, but the lives of other people, it's quite inevitable. And so e-learning, in my experience, it has helped me a lot, especially now compared to other previous pandemics. Now that we are in the prime time where technology is blooming, we should take that to our advantage. And so that is why I think e-learning is a good substitute. Firstly, because in e-learning, not only that we can prevent the further worsening of the coronavirus, we still need to make sure that learning is still ongoing in our country. And just because that there's a worldwide pandemic at the moment, it doesn't mean that we must postpone our learning process, and we must make sure that the curriculum is still going on as smoothly as usual, even though we have to do it at home. And in e-learning, we should take advantage of technology by using the available platforms in the internet. For example, like the one we're using now is the Zoom meeting platform. And in this application, we can still meet our teachers even though it's not face-to-face, but we can still see each other and monitor. And other than that, we can maximize the use of technology by using applications such as Google Classroom or quizzes and Google Forms. And that's actually what I used in the scenario that I mentioned before, where I had to adapt to the new online learning process. And that's why I'm very grateful that my teachers and other teachers in the world have done their best to make sure that their students are still learning and still go on with their education. But other than that, even though e-learning is a good substitute, I don't think after the pandemic we should completely integrate e-learning to our education, especially in Indonesia, because I think like artificial intelligence, technology especially, we often connect it with artificial intelligence. Like artificial intelligence, we can't replace that, because there's something about going to school and be in a classroom with your friends and communicate with your teachers. There's a lot of values in that we should treasure, and that doesn't exist in e-learning, because e-learning you are assigned the time and the class, and you only meet each other when there's material to be conducted, and
2 minutes left.
The test you are without the monitoring eyes of your teachers. And in school, you can also learn about etiquette and norms and other life lessons that you can't learn about otherwise at home, because in the confines of your house, it's very limited. And even now that we are experiencing this competition, it's very limited that I can see the judges and the other finalists. And that's actually, to me, that's very disappointing, because we are created as social creatures, and by having a community, having a strong community, in this case, I'm talking about at school, it's a big part of our lives. And in school, we can also learn about our teachers. Our teachers have a very special roles in our life if we are students. And they not only teach us about the curriculum, the national curriculum, but they also teach us about life values and other life lessons that we can find otherwise at home. And I think that is why that even though e-learning is a good substitute, we still should think about why it's important for us to go to school in the first place. Whatever happens at school that's not in the curriculum is something very important for us. That's it from me about why e-learning is a good substitute for technology, for classroom learning, but not a replacement. Thank you for your time and attention. Wassalamualaikum, Namo Buddhaya, Shalom, Om Swastiastu.
Thank you so much, Kimberly, for the presentation. Now is the time for the question and answer session. Now, okay, I would like to invite, first, Kimberly spent 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay. Now for the judges, if you have questions, please ask to Kimberly, probably Ms. Lola or Pak Andri.
Ms. Lola first, please.
Ms. Lola, okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, Kimberly. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, last year I saw you in Spelling Bee, but this year, unfortunately, we don't have Spelling Bee due to the e-learning,
yeah.
due to the virtual platform that we have to use. Yeah. All right. Thank you for the presentation. I have one question. You mentioned about one downside of e-learning, namely this lack of social interaction, right?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other disadvantages in mind in addition to this social interaction aspect. So are there any other downsides of e-learning that you can think of?
I think e-learning makes students, especially students in a young age, for example, in elementary school, that they don't have, that they usually in conventional learning at school, students are shaped according to their, according to what their teachers think. So their characters are shaped at school. And so the lack of, when they don't meet each other, I think it becomes a little hard on the student, because they don't have anyone to monitor them. Whereas at school, whereas at their young age, they should be shaped in terms of their character and their that's it.
Okay, but that is still on the social aspect, right? What do you think about the other aspects, such as, for example, economic aspect? Will there be, or are there any disadvantages concerning economic aspect, for example?
Oh, because, because sadly students don't have the same privilege. All students doesn't have the same privilege, and marginalized students, such as those in schools that are underfunded, they can't proceed with e-learning. And that's actually, I think that's the role of not only the government, but also the role of the community to help and make sure that they can be accommodated. And by that, I don't think the government can allocate funds for their e-learning process by giving out electronic devices and the right internet access. But I think if that's unobtainable, we don't have any other choice but to proceed with the conventional learning at school. But of course, with the right procedure to not contract the virus.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. I think the other judges might have questions as well.
Okay.
Okay, Pak Andri or Miss Nita first. Miss Nita?
Miss Nita first.
Okay.
Nita, yes.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Miss.
One statement that I appreciate much is when you say that the teacher has special roles that cannot be irreplaceable by the AI. And you state that goes to school should be the first place in your list rather than having an online or e-learning. But there is one thing that you state that I don't really heard it. I didn't hear it clearly. When you said that blah, 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 postpone our learning process, what do you mean by blah, blah, blah?
I meant even though that we have a very dangerous virus, the outbreak, it doesn't mean that we have to stop our learning process or our usual curriculum. We don't have to stop it altogether. I think that we should find a way together, and we should cooperate, and we should communicate with the government or the community so that the young generation of our country can be, their education can still be maximized, even though with the limited confines of this situation.
And do you think we come to that stage? I mean, the government and the communities can communicate about that objective?
Well, I think it's both of our roles. So the government should be transparent with their plans and what they want to do with the state of education in Indonesia. But the community also have to communicate well by sending out messages and sending out what's really happening in our in our lives. I mean, in school, and of course, we still have a long way to go. And I think we can't really be on that prime stage because we have to find the best way possible for us to in education and the best way possible. And that's, I think, it's still a long way. And the takeaway is that we still have to work together to achieve that.
Okay, so you think when you say that it is a long way to go, I can imagine that, yeah, both of us, the government and the communities, might be not doing their best right now, but we will do our best. Okay, thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, Pak Andri, if you have questions.
Do we still have time?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Mr.
Yeah, it was, your presentation, I enjoyed it very much, especially in terms of, you touched the topic about that this e-learning is actually only a temporary substitute, which is the best way that we can do in a very difficult situation, right? And you also mentioned that e-learning, which is the substitute in this pandemic era, is still going on, right? The curriculum doesn't have to be postponed and so on. But do you see it from your own perspective of, learning, of experiencing this e-learning for several months? Or actually, does it represent the whole situation that our country, or, let's not talk about in a bigger scale, but what about in East Kalimantan alone? Because as you know that Kalimantan is a big province, and there are many remote areas in East Kalimantan which probably have experienced some difficulty in terms of keeping the syllabus or keeping the curriculum right on track.
Okay. May I answer it now?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you for the question. I'm very sorry that I did not mention about that part of students or schools that actually don't have the same privilege as I do. So there are a lot of marginalized students where they cannot access internet or even have the right devices for it. And I think that's very, very sad because, okay, wait. Wait, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Take your time.
I need to gather my thoughts first.
All right, no problem.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so I mentioned before that I didn't get to talk about that one part of our country, the students, the underfunded schools, and the undertrained labor of, teachers that don't have the same privilege as I do. So what I think when I think about it is that if they can achieve, they can access online e-learning, then the government and the community should form an alliance, if I may. And from that, we can slowly achieve and help them catch up with our curriculum, like students like me that thankfully have the privilege to proceed with e-learning. And I think that goes back to my point where it's still a long way to go, and I hope they can catch up fast with us in terms of the curriculum. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Andri, Ms. Sola, and Ms. Nita for the questions, and thank you, Kimberly, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, now Kimberly, that you may leave the room.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Miss.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So the last presentation from Kimberly marks the end of the final round for Cepat competition this morning. We have seen 5 thought-provoking presentations from 5 senior high school students in East Kalimantan. And we, the committee, would like to thank the judges and participants for attending and actively participating in this morning's event. And thank you to the viewers for watching. This will be the end of our event. Once again, thank you so much and have wonderful days ahead.
Bye-bye.